Welcome to Serene Soul Lessons. In a world that demands we constantly become someone, we often lose sight of who we already are. We chase success, validation, and knowledge, yet our hearts remain heavy. Today, we journey back to the wisdom of the Sixth Patriarch, Master Hui Neng, to explore 3 profound stories of transformation. These lessons will show you that the peace you seek is not a destination to reach, but a nature to be realized. Hui Neng was once a powerful general, a man whose entire identity was built on conquest, rank, and the fear he inspired in others. Even after becoming a monk, he could not let go of his competitive nature. He chased Master Hui Neng for miles across treacherous mountains, driven by a desperate need to seize the sacred robe of the patriarch, believing that owning it would finally make him the best monk. When he finally cornered the master, he found the robe sitting on a rock. He rushed to grab it, but, the small piece of cloth felt as heavy as a mountain, because his heart was still weighed down by greed and ego. Paralyzed by this failure, Hui Neng finally surrendered. He knelt and asked not for the robe, but for the truth. When you are not thinking of good, and you are not thinking of evil, at this very moment, what is your original face? In that silence, Hui Neng's mind finally stopped its endless war. He realized that the general was just a costume, and his ambition was just a ghost. With this realization, Hui Neng truly changed. He walked away from the mountain and stopped trying to command everyone around him. He began to live a life of effortless confidence, no longer needing to prove his worth to anyone. Because he stopped wearing the heavy mask of his ego, his relationships became peaceful, and his presence became a sanctuary for others. He found that by being no one, he finally became a true human being, unshakable and at peace. A monk named Fada had dedicated his entire life to the study of the Lotus Sutra, reciting it over 3,000 times from memory. He walked with his head held high, convinced that his immense knowledge made him holier than everyone else. When he met Hui Neng, his pride was so thick that he didn't even touch his head to the ground during his bow. He expected the master to be impressed by his intellect. The mouth recites the sutra, but the mind must live the sutra. When the mind is deluded, the sutra turns you. When the mind is enlightened, you turn the sutra. Fada was stunned into silence. He realized that for years, he had been like a person reading a map, but never actually walking the path. He had been collecting words like empty shells while his heart remained cold and arrogant. From that day on, Fada transformed his practice. He stopped counting his recitations and started living with presence. He began to treat the uneducated and the poor with the same reverence he had for the sacred scriptures. Instead of arguing about philosophy, he used his knowledge to comfort those in pain. By shifting from knowing to being, his life became light and harmonious. He found that 1 minute of real compassion was worth more than 1,000 books memorized, and he finally felt the warmth of the truth he had only previously talked about. A wealthy man once approached Hui Neng, boasting of the many temples he had funded and the thousands of people he had fed. He had this mental ledger of all his good deeds and asked with a hidden pride, "Master, how much merit have I accumulated for my lifelong devotion to these great works?" He expected to be told he was a saint. In truth, you have no merit at all. These are just worldly blessings. True merit is found in the stillness of your own nature, where there is no I who gives and no other who receives. The man felt a deep sting, but then a sudden, profound realization hit him. He had been treating his kindness like a business transaction, always expecting a thank you or a spiritual reward. This was why he still felt stressed and unappreciated despite his charity. The man chose to apply this teaching immediately. He continued his charity work, but he started doing it anonymously. He began leaving food and money for the needy in the middle of the night, ensuring no one knew his name. By letting go of the need for praise, he freed himself from the prison of other people's opinions. He found a lasting internal joy that didn't depend on appreciation. Because he no longer sought merit, his heart stayed full and peaceful even when the world was silent. He discovered that the emptier he made his ego, the more room he had for genuine happiness. Even after Hui Neng had touched his original face, he was still plagued by a lingering doubt. He believed that surely, there must be a deeper, more magical secret that the masters only whispered to their closest disciples. He approached Hui Neng once more and asked, "Besides the hidden meanings and secret teachings you have already shared, is there any other mystery that remains unrevealed?" He was still looking for a shortcut, a hidden key that would unlock ultimate power. Hui Neng smiled and told him, "What I have told you is no secret at all. If you look within your own heart and find your own nature, the mystery is right there, fully revealed in you. There is no secret outside of yourself." Hui Neng felt a sudden surge of clarity that washed away his last bit of restlessness. He realized that he had spent his whole life as a beggar, asking others for a key to a door that was never locked. He finally understood that no master, no book, and no external ritual could give him what he already possessed. He began to apply this by turning his gaze inward every time he felt lost or confused. He stopped seeking validation from the world and started trusting his own inner wisdom. Because he no longer looked to others to tell him he was enough, he became a pillar of strength for everyone around him. He lived the rest of his days with a profound sense of self-reliance, knowing that the greatest treasure in the universe was already resting in the center of his own chest. Before he became the great master, Hui Neng spent 8 months in the monastery kitchen, performing the most exhausting and humble task, hulling rice. He spent his days in the dust and heat, treading a heavy stone pestle to separate the grain from the husk. A visiting monk once saw him and felt a sense of pity, thinking that such dirty, repetitive labor was a tragic waste of a spiritual life. He told Hui Neng that he should spend more time in the prayer hall instead of the kitchen. But Hui Neng knew something the monk did not. He taught that the way is not found in a special posture or a special room. Chopping wood is meditation, and hulling rice is prayer. The monk was humbled as he watched Hui Neng work with such total presence and joy. He realized that his own so-called holy prayers were often empty, because his mind was always wandering, while Hui Neng's ordinary work was holy because his mind was fully there. The monk began to apply this to his own daily chores, treating the act of sweeping the floor or washing his bowl as a sacred ceremony. He stopped rushing through his work just to get to his practice, and as a result, his entire day became a continuous flow of peace. He found that when he brought his full attention to the present moment, the boring tasks of life became effortless, and honestly, even beautiful. He discovered that you don't need to escape the world to find peace. You only need to be fully present in whatever your hands are doing. Life will always send waves into your path, but as Master Hui Neng showed us, the ocean remains still in its depths. Whether you are facing a difficult mask of the ego, the trap of pride, or the rush of everyday work, remember that your original face is already there, untouched and serene. If these stories have brought a moment of clarity to your day, make sure to subscribe to Serene Soul Lessons and turn on notifications. We are building a community of seekers, and we'd love for you to join our live sessions, where we dive deeper into these teachings and meditate together in real time. Don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments. How will you find your original face today? May you find stillness in every step, and may your soul remain serene.